Hello everyone, welcome back to KXAN Live. It's Esmeralda Zamora and today we have our Simple Health segment. This segment is now happening every Wednesday around 3, a little bit after 3 p.m. And with me today is our special guest, Jose Torres. Jose, how are you doing today?
Great. I'm enjoying this beautiful weather. Can't beat that.
Yes, it's super cold, right?
No, it feels great.
It feels great. Well, I know that we have a very important topic to talk about today, and this is a story that you covered. Can you tell us a little bit about this amazing Austin man and his story?
Oh, so the video you're watching, this is Darrell Garza, and he has an amazing story about resilience, and he wants to share his story to give others hope about, when life hits you with some up and downs. He started losing his vision at an early age. And at that time, he didn't know that this journey, his vision challenges, that he didn't know that this would give him the strength to face a major cancer battle that put into question his dream of becoming a father. So here's a glimpse of his story of Garza's unstoppable spirit.
I can lay him on this tray and crank him out. And this is an edge beveler. It'll make it to where the edges are nice and rounded. It's a better hand feel. When I first got into leather work, I was actually making my own tools, and here's the complete leash. As a child, I always wanted to be in the military. My dad was in the Air Force, and I remember him telling me when I was about 4 years old, I was like, I want to do that. And the dream shattered at 6. From 6 years old, I started having retinal detachments. And from 6 to 19, I had over 30 major surgeries on my eyes and countless minor surgeries that still uncomfortable. My dream is to create leashes and collars for our military canine units. This is my personal working leash for Cyrus. He has been absolutely incredible at work. There's carts that I was always running into, almost on a daily basis. I'd hit a cart. And with him, I haven't touched one since. Good boy. 24, yeah. I was my first bout with cancer.
With the first round when you beat cancer, you go on with your life. 10 years later, I believe.
Yeah.
It happens again.
It was right when COVID started, actually. The lockdown had just started, and so I checked. I was like, oh my God, there's another lump. When I found out that I was sterilized because of cancer, that was extremely emotional for me because I always wanted kids. Still having my remaining testicle, before my second bout of cancer, I still felt okay. But when I lost the second one, for me, it's like I'm extinct in a sense. And that was tough, but, in time, things get better. We're exploring options to see, if what the chances and possibilities are to have a family. If my story can help someone find some solace in what they're about to go through, I'm not talking about it.
Darrell is really strong, especially for sharing this story with you. I know that when you were writing the article, you began to question some of the things that you were hearing. Tell us a little bit about what you discovered.
Yeah, so I was curious to find out how rare it is for men to get testicular cancer in both testicles. So I had the opportunity to chat with Darrell Garza's doctor. His name is Dr. Kyle Keys with Texas urology specialist. He told me that it does happen and it is rare. It happens 2 to 3% of the time. But when the cancer forms, Dr. Kyle says men will know about it.
And so my point is, it's usually obvious. Testicular cancer is rarely subtle. Right? Testicular cancer stereotypically is painless. You don't feel anything. You just notice that there's something growing. And cancer is stereotypically rock hard. So literally just think of a rock in your garden and imagine that in your scrotum. And these things tend to change quick. Testicular cancer can grow very quickly. So people notice this difference over 1 to 2 weeks. Rarely I hear people tell me, hey, I've noticed this funky thing growing in it for 6 months or 2 years. That's really rare.
And Jose, how rare is it to not only have this type of cancer, but have it twice?
Yeah, I was just saying here just a second ago, it is rare, but it happens there's a small percentage of when it happens. Dr. Kyle's
talked about.
like Dr. Keys talked about. He says it's rare. It happens 2 to 3% of the time.
And what message does he have for other men who are probably not well educated on this type of cancer, or maybe haven't gotten checked recently or know how to check themselves?
Right. So he recommends for men to do a self-exam. You can do that in the shower at least once a month. On this web story, I have a link. If you just have some questions about how to do that, I have that a source for you at the bottom of this web story. So he recommends to do a self-exam once a month. He also encourages young men to get insurance. Dr. Keys says that there is a statistic of young men not having medical insurance, and so this disease targets men from ages 15 to 35, and because some men around that young age around their 20s and early 30s don't have insurance, he really encourages them to go get that and invest in medical care and insurance, just because you never know if you might be, if you might experience something like that or something else.
Yeah, and this was a very tough experience for Darrell, like you mentioned. What is something that helped him keep his spirits high throughout the entire process?
His family. When I was chatting with them, I can tell that really brought some emotion. And even at one point in his life, during these ups and downs, he thought about suicide. But then when he thought about what that would do to his family, he changed his mind. Mm-hmm. So family, his community, has been a big part of keeping his spirits high.
And you touched a little bit on the article that you wrote on our website, KXAN.com. What are some of those resources that you have linked in there for others?
So I have a link about treatment, care services, and that includes counseling. A link as well as questions about how to do a self-exam. And also you'll read up on why Dr. Key says younger men are more likely to have testicular cancer. So a lot about in there, and a lot more about Darrell and his cute little dog Cyrus, who is so adorable. You'll read a little bit something there about how his dog Cyrus just has this like pep in his step when they go to a certain spot.
I read that too. I was going to ask you about it, but we'll save that for everyone to go read for themselves on our website, KXAN.com. And just like you mentioned, his family is keeping his spirits up, but I'm sure his puppy is doing that as well.
Yeah, he has 2 life companions. He is married, and as you heard, he is looking to start a family. So they're looking at their options now. Luckily, during his first battle with testicular cancer, before he started treatment, he saved some of his sperm. So now they're looking into the options that they have to start a family. And of course, they have little Cyrus there with them as well. And they also have a cat. And it was funny to see them interact, Cyrus and the cat. And the little kitty there. They get along really well. Cyrus is really chill. You just want to go there and just squeeze him and give him a bunch of hugs and kisses.
And hopefully they have a baby coming on the way soon. It's awesome how many options that they have to kind of combat that situation that they were in for a long time.
Yes, definitely.
Well, thank you, Jose. Is there anything else you'd like to share before we wrap things up about this story that you worked on?
I think the themes for some of the stories that I get to work on is lean on your community, because some people can, might think that, this person might not know what I'm going through. But if you just open up, you just never know what the other person or your family or your group of friends might tell you. They might be going through similar things, or they just might be there to listen, which is sometimes a good thing to do as well. Sometimes you just need to air things out. So my message is find a community, whether that's a group of friends, coworkers, church, fitness community. And yeah, just open up, lean on your community.
Yeah, always stretch out your hand, lend a helping hand, and take that helping hand when it's there.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining me, Jose.
Yeah, thank you, Esme.
And that's all we have today on our Simple Health segment. Remember, like I mentioned earlier, this is going to be a segment that happens every Wednesday around 3 p.m. Hopefully not too much after 3 p.m., but we'll try our hardest. Thank you so much for joining us. If you want to read more on Jose's story, it's on our website, KXAN.com.